Pennsylvania is one of the worst states in the nation when it comes to radon. The average reading is 7, but many homes are much higher than that. The EPA guideline is no more than 4. Lisa Mazur is now suing the manufacturer Del Monte. I got a copy of the class action lawsuit. Her story is front and center in this case that claims the treats were unsafe, defective, and dangerous. It takes 10 minutes for a hacker's computer to crack a 6-digit lowercase password. 10 hours if it's upper and lowercase. Add more digits and special characters, and it becomes infinitely more difficult. Yet most of us use simple combos that are easy to remember. This gel ball is about the size of a marble, but it's soft and squishy, and to a child it looks a lot like candy. Once it's exposed to water, it will begin to expand, and in 48 hours it will go from this to this, the size of a racquetball. The Pattersons were trusted friends, but that friendship quickly soured when the case ended up in court. We're here to do a story on it.
I don't want a story.
Raymond Patterson wasn't pleased to see me or our camera. The danger came from a grill brush. A bristle had broken off and had gotten into the food. And when a Grove City boy bit down on his hamburger, he got a little piece of wire stuck in his throat. Now, at first, doctors thought it was something minor. Then they saw the x-ray and rushed him to Children's Hospital.
They're not just going after, debtors. They're going after completely innocent people.
A West Virginia woman fought back after getting abusive phone calls for a debt she said she didn't know, and she won. The largest judgment ever against a debt collection agency, $10 million.
She told Target 11 consumer investigator Robin Taylor it is not about the money. Robin's live in our studio now. Robin?
Well, Peggy and David, Diana May hasn't collected a dime, and she may never get any of that money. But what she has done is draw attention to debt collectors who break the law.
They have the game down. They know how to scare the crap out of people, even if you're innocent.
It all began 2 years ago when this Wheeling housewife got a call from a debt collector threatening to put a lien on her home, a tactic that's illegal.
They are in the process of serving some court documents in regards to case 29369.
The debt wasn't even hers, so Diana May fired off a cease and desist letter. Precisely 23 minutes after Reliant Financial Associates signed for the letter, a series of hang-up calls began that looked like they were coming from the local sheriff's department. When Diana finally answered, she was subjected to an obscene phone call that she recorded.
You've been really trying to get a hold of me. You called quite a bit the last couple days.
Yes, I want to make sure that you like me.
I consider myself a fairly savvy consumer, but that message scared me.
A detective later told her the call didn't come from the sheriff's department. The caller ID had been manipulated, a practice called spoofing. And that's when Diana put 2 and 2 together. She researched the debt collection company on the internet and found out she wasn't the only one this had happened to.
Did they call the wrong person when they called you? They absolutely called the wrong person. Yeah, they picked the wrong person.
Diana has fought big companies before. In 1999, she won a class action lawsuit against a telemarketer who kept calling even after she asked them to stop. Diana sued RFA and won $10 million after their lawyer failed to show up in court. The judge called the collection agency's actions malicious.
Ultimately, they just blew the case off. They just blew it off.
Good morning. Is Thomas Stepp available?
We've reached out to RFA's lawyer for nearly a week now, but never heard back from him.
Do you think he'll be back later on today?
So far, Diana hasn't collected a dime.
So you won a $10 million judgment. Do you think you'll ever collect on that?
I think it's a long shot, but now that we've identified who the owners are, I'm sure gonna try.
Now, we only played a little bit of that obscene message, but I listened to the whole thing and it was really bad. Diana told me it's not about the money, it's about sending a message to other debt collectors that they have to obey the law. Robin Taylor, Channel 11 News. I've been contacted by 2 different people who believe their dogs died recently after eating Purina Beneful. I talked to the FDA about this. They are aware of the complaints, but haven't found a contaminant. So at this time, the dog food remains on the shelf. Carissa and Scott Doherty have loving memories of their 2.5-year-old English Mastiff named Maisie.
I've never had a dog that would just come and bury her head in your lap because she loved you so much.
In January, Scott picked up a big bag of Purina Beneful. A week later, Maisie started acting a little off. The following week, she began throwing up.
It seemed like there was really something wrong, and I was really getting worried.
At the vet, Maisie's condition continued to deteriorate.
They said that it was poison. It looked like she drank antifreeze.
But the Dohertys say the only thing that had changed was Maisie's food. Their vet suspected aflatoxins that can come from moldy corn. 2 days later, there was nothing more the vet could do.
Her kidneys and liver were shutting down, and there was no coming home for her.
That evening, they filed complaints with Consumer Affairs, the FDA, and Purina. After reviewing the vet's findings, the FDA began looking into Maisie's death.
We assumed that you could go to the store and you could purchase any bag of dog food and your pet would be okay.
On the Consumer Affairs website, I found more than 400 complaints of dogs getting sick or dying after eating Beneful, all made in just the past 3 months. Purina calls the allegations misleading, saying there's no scientific evidence to support them. A spokesman told me, "We are confident there is not a quality or safety issue with our products," adding Beneful has never had a product recall.
You don't know whether the Beneful killed Maisie.
No, we do not.
In my heart, I know it did. There's nothing that could have done this. The only thing that answers the question is the dog food.
The FDA is awaiting toxicology tests. Those tests could take several weeks. They're also testing samples of the food and say if there is a safety concern, they will alert the public. In the meantime, Purina stands by the safety of their food. Robin Taylor, Channel 11 News. Phishing is one of the easiest ways for cyber criminals to get your personal information. You hand it right over to them because you think they're a trusted source. It's as simple as clicking on a link because it looks like the email is coming from your bank.
We have temporarily suspended your account and your access to online banking.
This email stated someone had tried to access Tina Blodgett-Dar's Bank of America account. If she didn't verify her identity, the account would be closed.
It had their logo, it had their email address, the whole 9 yards. I mean, it was very real.
But a call to Bank of America revealed the email was bogus. It had bounced off servers in Brazil and Denmark, landing in Tina's inbox in Pittsburgh.
It's very hard to catch them for the sheer fact that a lot of the bad guys aren't even in the United States.
It's estimated Americans lost more than $25 million last year to these schemes. To get a better understanding of how this type of crime works, I turned to Sergeant Michael Del Cimuto with the Pittsburgh Police Computer Crimes Unit. He showed me how easy it is for criminals to fool you.
This is our website.
So this is your website.
He scrolled down to my bio on the WPXI website.
That's me.
And you click on the link and there's your feed.
And then he showed me a duplicate page. I couldn't tell the difference. It looked exactly the same.
So you somehow copied this?
Right, I copied your website.
Only this time when he clicked on the link, it didn't go to my page. He set it up to go to the city of Pittsburgh's website. And that's the trick. The phony website looks real, but the link could lead you to the bad guys.
So is it easy for somebody to create a very real-looking fake website?
It's very easy for someone who understands the code.
Here are a few surefire ways to tell if it's phishing. First, check the email address it's coming from. Then, look for grammatical or spelling errors. Finally, inspect the web address.
If you hover over your PayPal link and you see it's going to something like igotyu.com.uk, then maybe it's not going to PayPal. If you hover over the PayPal link, it should say PayPal.
The top 5 phishing emails look like they're coming from financial institutions, and there's no sign of it slowing down. About 500 million phishing emails appear in inboxes every day.
Phishing comes and phishing goes, but phishing will always be here.
Another way to protect yourself is to set up different email accounts. For example, my PayPal account isn't linked to my work email, so if I get an email at work from PayPal, I know that it's not real. If you're ever in doubt, don't click on a link, type in the web address, or pick up the phone and make a call. Robin Taylor, Channel 11 News.